Antarctica. What does it hide? What lies beneath the white void at the edge of the world? Why is it the only place on Earth you can't simply visit? And what if the ice doesn't just hold Earth's secrets, but something that was never meant to be found? Antarctica is the most isolated and enigmatic continent on the planet. Thousands of kilometers of ice, sub-zero temperatures, howling winds, and deafening silence. No cities, no countries, no people, but something exists there. Something that causes unease in those who know. Every year, expeditions travel there. Scientists, military, intelligence agents. And every year, they return. In silence, no reports, no documentaries, no headlines. You won't find travel bloggers wandering Antarctica. No tourists fly there, no live-streamed adventures. Access is strictly limited. But why? Have you ever wondered why the entire world suddenly agreed on one thing? Antarctica is the only place on Earth where there are no wars, where no country claims land, where an international treaty forbids resource extraction, construction, or any activity outside of scientific research. Nations that can't agree on borders. The US, Russia, China, the UK signed this agreement, and it has remained in force for over half a century. Why? What's so important down there that it united the superpowers? Some say science, peace, environmental protection, but has humanity ever put oil, gas, or gold aside for the sake of the planet? Antarctica holds immense reserves of oil and minerals, yet no one drills, no one builds, no one settles. This isn't just strange, it's an anomaly. Officially, everything is under control. There are research stations, meteorological observations. But what if all of that is just a cover? What if under the ice, there's something else? There are satellite images, not in public access, but hackers claim they exist, structures beneath the ice, too symmetrical, too precise. Some resemble pyramids, others, domes. Their scale is colossal, and their depth suggests an age of tens of thousands of years. You might say, conspiracy theory? Then why in 2001 was access to South Pole satellite imagery suddenly restricted? Why are independent researchers always turned away from key coordinates? Why do scientists who return from Antarctica never give interviews? There's one particularly strange story. In 2004, according to unconfirmed reports, a US military plane veered off course and detected a heat signature under the ice. Thinking it might be geothermal, a team was sent in. 6 hours later, contact lost. 2 days later, their helicopter was found, melted, as if exposed to radiation inside, not a single body on the fuselage. Strange burned symbols. The event was never mentioned in the press, only anonymous forum leaks, and classified documents lost from military archives. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Some believe beneath Antarctica lies an ancient civilization, not human, not animal, not myth, a civilization whose existence would shatter the worldview we hold. These beings aren't like us. Their anatomy, their technology, completely different, and they're not extinct. They're preserved, frozen, as if in a massive cryo-laboratory. Some believe they came before us, others that they didn't come from Earth at all in samples. Taken from Antarctica's subglacial lakes, scientists found DNA fragments not found in any known species on Earth. Not mutation, not accident, but what some call extra-evolutionary insertions. But who inserted them? And why, maybe, this place, this edge of the world, was the entry point. The first contact, the first intervention, a place where past, present, and future merge into one code. Now imagine a world beneath the ice, gigantic, sleeping, waiting, as if it hasn't said its final word yet. Antarctica isn't just a frozen wasteland, it's a sealed portal. To the past? To another dimension? To another consciousness? We don't know, but someone does, and someone guards it. If Antarctica really hides something, is the world's silence the loudest answer of all? You won't hear about this in the news. They'll show you penguins, melting ice, climate change, but between the lines, there is silence, and it screams. Old explorer journals from the 19th century speak of strange sensations, time slowing, compasses spinning, sound muted, as if under a dome. Some described lights in the sky not from the sun, others, white figures on the horizon. They stood still, but you felt their gaze. These lines didn't make it into official reports. They remained in journals, in private letters. And perhaps that's where the truth still lives. You've heard of Lake Vostok? A lake over a kilometer deep, trapped beneath the ice for millions of years. No sunlight, no surface contact. When a drill finally reached it, instruments failed. Then the water rose on its own, as if something below was reaching upward. The samples classified. No further details released. Think about it. What if Antarctica isn't just a place? What if it's a coordinate system? A break in the map? A place where physics breaks down, where time isn't linear, where man is not a master, but a visitor who's been forgotten? There's a theory that Antarctica doesn't hide an object, but a truth. And that's why we're not allowed in, because the truth would change everything. If beneath the ice are the remains of an ancient civilization, then our history is a lie. If the tech is not of this world, our science collapses. If it's a gateway, then our religions fall. The question is no longer, what is under the ice? But can we even know the truth? Without destroying reality itself? Perhaps Antarctica is the edge of the simulation, the render limit, the edge of the map. Like in games, and where once you reach the boundary, the world stops being real. Maybe that's how Earth is designed. Maybe there, you can finally see it's all a game. And that's why they don't let us in. Not because it's cold, but because it's too hot for the truth. According to Gnostic teachings, Earth is a locked system, a creation of the 𝘵𝘩𝘢𝘵. But even a locked system has a crack, an exit, a window, a place where you can glimpse the light. What if Antarctica is that crack? But are you ready to look through it? Because once you see, you'll never be the same again. But if something truly lies beneath Antarctica, if humanity has spent centuries guarding this secret, if the truth is so shocking that it's buried under miles of ice, then maybe not knowing is the only protection we have. Maybe truth isn't light, maybe it's a frozen void that breaks the human mind. So the real question isn't, what does Antarctica hide? But rather, are you ready to find out? If the price is everything? Have you noticed how the strangest things are always met with silence? As if the entire world agreed. There are topics that must not be spoken. Antarctica is one of them. Why, in an era where we colonize space, do we know so little about our own planet? Thousands of satellites, yet almost no public images of the continent's center. Expeditions, rare. No journalists, no tourists, only military bases. Secretive research programs, and leaked fragments of data that disappear as fast as they appear. Some believe, beneath the ice, something is asleep. Something not from our evolution. Not from this world. Not from us. Too ancient to comprehend. Too powerful to control. Have you heard of Project Iceworm? A real US military operation in the 1960s. Officially, to build an under-ice base, unofficially, contact with unexplained phenomena, the project was shut down. Official reason? Unstable ice. Unofficial reason? We saw things we cannot speak of. Our ancient maps, dated from the 15th and 16th centuries, that show Antarctica, ice-free, with mountains, rivers, with outlines that match modern radar data only available via satellites. How did people in 1500 know what lies beneath the ice? What if the ice isn't protecting nature from us, but protecting us from what's down there? What if Antarctica isn't just land, but an entrance? Many believe it's the gateway to 𝘭𝑪𝑡Ω, the mythical underground realm spoken of by Tibetan monks, ancient Sumerians, and esoteric thinkers. They believed inside the earth is another world, a different reality, beings we call gods, aliens, or shadows. Now imagine, Antarctica isn't just a continent. It's a seal, a lock on a door, a boundary. And if that boundary is broken, something will come forth. Something forgotten for millennia. You can shrug and say, just a conspiracy theory, just fiction, then answer one simple question. Why can't you travel to Antarctica freely? You can book a flight to orbit, but not to the South Pole. Why? Maybe it's not about weather. Maybe it's not about logistics. Maybe you're not kept out because you can't survive the cold, but because your mind wouldn't survive what you'd see. If the ice melts tomorrow, who will wake up first? Us or them? There are accounts that people who've been to restricted Antarctic bases come back changed, silent, detached, as if something inside them was no longer theirs. Some never speak of what they saw. Others leave strange journals, full of symbols, codes, repeated phrases. Beneath the ice is not emptiness. We were not the first. They're still listening. Among icebergs, strange magnetic anomalies are found, unexplained by geophysics, sometimes structures, unnaturally precise. Not made by nature, leaks show objects like monoliths, reaching downward as if antennae, pointing toward Earth's core. Now, look at this through the lens of simulation. If reality is a program, then Antarctica is the protected file, a hidden folder. A locked level, something no character is meant to access. But what if someone found a way in? What would happen? Some believe that all glitches in reality, time loops, deja vu, Mandela effects, are connected to disruptions in Antarctica, that it holds the control center, and tampering with it breaks the simulation. Ancient myths whisper. The gods sleep in the south, where the earth is silent and the sky is white. Old civilizations avoided southern directions. Why? Now imagine, what if all climate catastrophes are not coincidences? What if the melting ice isn't caused by change, but is itself causing it? What if nature isn't being broken by us, but is reacting to something stirring beneath it? Some mystics believe beneath Antarctica lies something ancient, conscious, but it's not hostile. It's asleep, and it's connected to us, our dreams, our fears, our archetypes. Maybe it's all just echoes from a memory we've buried. In 2002, a signal was detected from Antarctica. No one could explain it. It lasted seconds. Its frequency and structure never repeated. Scientists called it simply the anomaly. Since then, silence. But those who heard the original clip say, it sounded like breathing. And now, back to you. And maybe something stirs inside. A memory, a chill, a vision of ice. Sound, a door, as if you've always known, as if this knowledge was already within you. Just waiting to be remembered. Why? Maybe because our subconscious is linked to this place. Maybe we're not observers, but part of an experiment. And Antarctica is the control panel. Now imagine, what if you see it in a dream? You see a door and it opens. What do you find? There's a theory nobody says aloud, that the men in black, strange disappearances, anomalous signals, are all fragments of one global project centered around the South Pole. And in that project, we are either the subjects or the ones who locked ourselves in and forgot. Some philosophers and futurists say, we're not on the verge of discovery, we're on the verge of remembering. Antarctica might not be a secret, but a sealed memory. And the ice, not a barrier, but a lock. So we never return to the beginning. Picture this. You're standing on endless white plains, wind howling, time slowing. Suddenly, something appears. Something that nature could not make. A giant structure, an unknown language carved in eternal ice, and a single phrase you somehow understand. You have returned. You were warned. Now pause. What if this entire story is fiction, a myth, a theory, a narrative? You can close the video, scroll on, forget. But if something inside you just stirred, if a tremble woke in your chest, if an image appeared of ice, of sound, of a door, then maybe you've already been there, more than once. Psychologists say, in dreams, we can't invent faces. We only see those we've met before. But what if in dreams, you're not just seeing faces, but places, Antarctica, docked stations, whispers beneath the ice, unknown stars in a black sky over a white horizon? What if our obsession with Antarctica isn't curiosity, but instinct? What if humanity unconsciously longs to return, because that's where our story began, and where it must end? Now, one last question. If tomorrow you found out that something alive was discovered in Antarctica, something not from us, something older, something that knows everything about us, what would you feel? Curiosity, fear, the urge to learn, or run? Maybe Antarctica is the final mirror, the only place untouched by illusion. And if we look into it, we won't see landscape, we'll see the truth. Antarctica is silent. But maybe, not because nothing is there, but because we're not ready to listen. If you were given the chance to enter the forbidden zone, to see everything, to know the truth, but with no way back, would you step in? Or would you leave it all frozen, silent, but safe? You're looking at a map of the world, colorful continents, country names, political borders. But at the bottom, Antarctica, no cities, no flags, no people, just a vast white mass, as if erased from reality by a giant hand. Why? Some scientists say Antarctica is just a frozen continent. But then why is it guarded like a military zone? Why can't anyone go there freely? Why have hundreds of international agreements been signed in one voice? Don't go there. But what if it's not us protecting Antarctica? What if Antarctica is protecting us? What if it's the last container of ancient knowledge, something we were never meant to remember? Because if we ever find out, our entire history could turn to dust. Now imagine this. What if one day the icy shell cracks open and something emerges? Something that's been watching us for thousands of years. Something that knows why we're here. And what happens next?